Why do we keep track of when people come to work when all I really care is the output? I don't know if we can do that because everybody does it, so it must be illegal. The biggest thing for me was honestly, I was tired of being the only one in the company who couldn't innovate. We're going to publish this. We're going to have everybody who joins the company read this. Do you agree?
I found it fascinating about the thought that you say that we want to write things down, like
Yeah.
write the behavior down. So that's probably something that can trigger more deliberate thinking.
Absolutely. This is how it really worked. Reed and I would have a one-on-one. One of us would wake up in the middle of the night and have an idea. We would debate it back and forth. And sometimes, mostly his, were crazy. Like, let's get rid of something. And I would say, the HR VP and me would say, well, that's got to be illegal in California. Let's get rid of tracking paid time off, right? And I said, I don't know if we can do that because everybody does it, so it must be illegal. So I Google search it and I'm like, I can find a lot of laws about paid time off for people that work hourly, but I can't really find a law that says you have to have paid time off. So I go to our general counsel and I say, hey, what's the law about paid time off? He's like, oh, I'll find it, let me call a lawyer friend. And then he comes back and goes, well, technically.
Yeah.
And so we started to think, well, tracking that is a task that takes time away from the brilliant people we've hired to do really important things that affect our customer. So what if we remove that, right? What if we just stop doing that? And so what we did with all of those experiments was we treated them as experiments. Right, so that was the writing it down. We talked about it. We would run it through our executive team, the leadership team, the rest of the company. And once you have the words written down, then everybody can weigh in, right? And they can't weigh in if you're just talking about it. It's different when we say we're gonna publish this. We're gonna have everybody who joins the company read this. Do you agree? And we might wordsmith it, but there were people who would say, sounds really scary. I'm not sure I agree. And we would say, let's try it for 6 months. And if it turns out that it's a really bad idea, the lawyers are right that we'll get sued. All my HR friends say you're crazy, right? If all those things happen, then we won't do it anymore. And we'll do what everybody else does and we'll call it best practice.
Wow. What impressed me the most in this process is your capacity to ask the question, what if we try it, right? What if we can...
Yih-Teen, I learned that from the engineers.
Right.
Because I had to learn to speak their language. At the time, the company had a lot of software engineers who were very, very black and white people. Their world is, it's good or bad, it's right or wrong, it's yes or no, it's 0 or 1, right? It is a very digital world. And so I found that when I wrote things down, it sort of became data.
Okay.
And what we did with our customers was we tested all the time, right? I have an idea, you have an idea. Both of us think the customers, my idea is as good as yours. I mean, we don't really know, we're making it up, so we test it. And so that's what I thought, well, if they can do it. The biggest thing for me was honestly, I was tired of being the only one in the company who couldn't innovate. I was jealous.
Wow.
It's like, everybody else is having all the fun. How about me? Like, well, no, you can't, Patty, because, policies and procedures are set in stone. You can't change those. And I thought, why not? Somebody came up with the first one. So what if I got rid of it? Or what if I stood back and said, why do we do this? Why do we keep track of? Why do we keep track of when people come to work when all I really care is the output?
Yeah. I think with this, you goes to this design intent. So
Yes.
about engineering, but you are
Yes.
applying that in the creation and architecturing of the whole
It's
culture
such a
system,
beautiful
right?
phrase. I mean, I wish I had thought of it. It's a wonderful way to talk about it, which is design intent. And design intent says, what's your intention? What are your results? And then the design part can be very creative,
Yeah.
right? There can be a lot of different ways to get to the same conclusion if you're clear about the conclusion, right? And so then you spend more time saying, what do you want this to be instead of how do you want to get there?